All right, everyone, my Scribian is here. Let's get this episode going. Thanks, everybody, for watching this. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please do so. Subscribe it on YouTube. And also, you can follow me everywhere on social media at Caribbean. Today, I'm going to talk about the topic I called it, what if or what's the risk of not having a life insurance? And many of you guys who've been following me, you guys know that I've been in this business 22 plus years. I helped over 3,400 clients, and I love what I do. I do it with the joy, and I believe that I'm gonna retire with this business, and I have no any intentions to change it because one of the keys to become successful is choose something you love and do it for a long time, and you'll see success becomes much easier the longer you stay and you get better at it, you get more business, your income grows. So my courage to those who are at a point in your life where you choosing a career, remember those points because that's really going to help you out. So the risk of not having life insurance, being in a business, I can talk and I've seen this happen many times. One of the, I guess, negative sides of being in sales, doesn't matter how good of a product service you have and how good you present, end of the day, there are some people will not buy. You can force them, but that's not my style. I offer, I present, end of the day, I let them choose. Of course, I do my best so they understand, make sure at least they don't have any questions. And if after that they choose not to buy it, it's up to them. I've seen that happen many times. But I always say, hey, not having a life insurance, it's at risk. And that's the risk I want to talk about. What's the risk? I've seen so many stories, so many families, so many individuals. Their family, their finances, everything fall apart because the breadwinner did not have a life insurance. In most cases, it's the husband, sometimes the wife, whoever is responsible in a family. Sometimes it's not a married couple. Sometimes it's an individual who takes care of their parents and they didn't have life insurance. Do you know what kind of changes happens after that event? The risk is so big and it's so scary if you really sit down 10-15 minutes if you don't have a life insurance and you think about what I'm sharing with you. What if you don't have a life insurance, something happens to you? What responsibilities and liabilities do you have? How are you going to cover those? This is very important. I've seen people living in a house. I present them life insurance, didn't buy it. Few months, few years later, something happened to the husband, passes away or gets sick, especially when they pass away. Let's say they used to make 150,000 a year. That income is gone. Right off the top, that's a big distraction in families' finances. I'm not even talking about, the hard times they go through first 2-3 years until they recover. I'm talking about the financial side of it. On top of that pain, now they have to worry about how they're going to pay the bills. And guess what most people do? They sold the house. They went from a house to apartment. In some cases, from house to rent. Why? Because they have to sell the house to recover the husband's income, to pay the bills. You know how devastating it is to see families go through that. And when those events happen, the other spouse calls me, Mike, we need to get a life insurance. We didn't listen to you first time. We have to this time. But why wait until something like that happens to you or to your family? Doesn't matter what age you are, get a life insurance. Why? Because the longer you wait, the riskier it gets, costly it gets. The risk gets involved. If anything happens to your health, most insurance companies not going to give you a lot of coverage, or Let's say for $1 million, you're going to pay $150. Now they're going to offer you $250,000 for probably $500. So you're going to pay more. That's one. But if you go through a very risky health issues, most companies going to reject you. And those who still accept you, those are small coverages, 25,000 to 50,000. That's called guarantee issue policies. But in today's world, 25 to 50,000, it's pretty much nothing. Now, I don't do videos like this where I might sound I'm talking about negative stuff. I'm talking the reality. One of the first things you have to do as a husband, as a responsible person in your family, is protect what you have. How do you protect what you have? Getting a life insurance and also making sure you have a health insurance. Because if you don't, an event like that happens, even if you have some savings, believe me, that's going to go very fast. But when you have a life insurance, remaining of your family will have at least financial peace. Very, very important, guys. This is not something to ignore. If you can't afford permanent policy, premiums $300 to $1,000, that's fine. Get a term policy. There are a lot of companies that I sell that gives you options. They said, hey, you cannot afford high monthly premiums? No problem. Get $1 million term. In 10 years, many things can change, right? Once income gets better, your business does well, those companies gives you option, convert the term into permanent because you locked your rate, your health rate. You can convert it to permanent. They'll honor your health rate. There's a guidelines and timelines, but that's a good option to get. Get yourself $1 million, $2 million, put it aside. When time comes, convert it into permanent, but get something. I've seen so many people lag. I'll do it next time, next month, next year. And what if before that time comes, something happens? There's a book I read. It's called The Power of Now, which is an amazing book. It teaches you there is a power when you do things now. What things you need to do now, the important ones especially. There are some stuff that you can do. Maybe it's not an urgent or emergency, and if you lag it, it's not going to hurt you. For example, one of your goals is to visit Italy as a vacation. You've been many places, never been to Italy. It's okay if you lag that. Not this year, maybe next year or following year. Italy is not going to go away. But when you're lagging important stuff, in this case, such as life insurance, if something happens, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Okay? Now, this is 15 minutes short video. Those of you who are listening, if you don't have life insurance, you see the link below. Send me a free code link that I put in my video. I'll get you some pricing. If you have it, good for you. What I always recommend, review it. Some people have life insurance 10 years ago, 15 years ago. A lot of changes happen in the industry. Maybe if with the same premium, you can get a higher coverage. With the same premium, probably you can get better benefits. It's always good to renew what you have. I always say people update their phone once a year, but they don't update their important documents for a long time. So renew it. First, you'll find out more about what you have. You'll be surprised the things that you knew or didn't know. And second, maybe you can double your coverage for same premium. Everything is possible. Once I renew it, I've seen all kinds of changes people made, and I offered them. But if you don't have a life insurance, definitely get it. Get it for you, for your spouse. Get some programs that are great for kids, for your parents. So when you look at the people who became rich and wealthy, believe me, all of them, 99% of them, in my study, one of their portfolio wealth is life insurance. Why? Because they understand the power and the importance of having a life insurance. Okay? Thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, get hold of me, and I'll put a link. There is a video I did. How do you shop around for life insurance? If you follow through my channel, you'll see it. It's a recent videos. Okay? Thank you again. Share it in your pages. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.